Hello friends, welcome to the series Learn mQuery with me. My name is Vijay Perepa and today I am going to explain how to extract Excel data into Power Query Editor and shape the data by adding few more additional columns using mQuery, that is M language, in Power Query Editor. I'm not going to use any single click while using this entire ETL process. Everything will be through mQuery, and then the same data will be taken into the model, and I'm going to create a quick report using few DAX and few tiles will be created using Q&A, that is machine learning algorithm within Power BI. So please watch it. You need to watch entire video to understand how easy the mQuery is and how easily you can learn it. Please watch it. For this video, to explain the entire ETL process in Power Query Editor using mQuery, I'm going to use this Excel spreadsheet data. This is sitting in sheet 2. Sheet is an object, but I'm not going to use sheet as an object. Rather, I have converted this entire data into a dynamic table using Control L in Excel, and then the name of the table is revenue. Now I'm using object table and name of the object is revenue. That is one important thing to be noted. The next, quality of the data. In first place, I don't want to use this column registration number for my analysis. As per my understanding, I don't require this column. But should I delete the column within the data? That is not advisable because I am not the owner of this data and this is maintained by somebody, and indulging into their data and deleting something is not a good idea. So I'm not touching this column, but I'd rather clean it in Power Query Editor. Customer date of joining is fine, but when I go to the column student, and if you look at the name of particular cell, the value of the cell is student 2. Unfortunately, this is not a text type. Our data type is not text. This data type is a number, because if you look at in the formula bar, it is showing 2. So in Excel, you can create such a cell value with a custom formatting where you will see the text, but you will not see the real text, and the data type is always number. So I need to clean this column in Power Query Editor. Along with that, I would like to create one more column because currently I have only date of joining. I would like to have a month name column as well. When I create a month name, the month name will come like December, January, etc. So I wanted to make that column small column with only 3 digits. So first is adding a column with only month name and then splitting that column. So that entire process required to be written with a code. So I'm going to explain that. And after all, very important thing is this data doesn't contain the key information, that is revenue. It is containing only the duration, number of hours spent with each student. And I want revenue, how much fees I collected from each student with respect to their duration and the application. So this also I'm going to actually create the query, rather the code within the mQuery, so that we can have a complete data within Power Query Editor which can be used for our data model. Now let us quickly jump into Power BI and then let us go to the Power Query Editor to start with our mQuery. Before start explaining the mQuery and adding query, etc., I forgot to mention one important thing, that what do you tell to Power Query to pull the data? So you need to give the context. What is that? The file name along with the path of that particular Excel file. So let me go to the Excel file and then create the path. So cell file name. So this function gives me the entire path along with the sheet name. So I don't require the sheet name, only I require the file name. Till file name I'm just copying, and then let me take a notepad and then let me paste there and remove this square bracket because this I don't require while using this file name into the Power Query Editor. So this is very important because I need to communicate to Power Query Editor that you need to go to this particular file and pull the data. Now let me go to the Power Query Editor. Currently I don't have any queries. So I need to add a blank query so that I can start writing the code. For that I need to go to new source and select blank query. Now I think if you have watched an earlier video, I started typing the code within the formula bar, but now I'm not using the formula bar, I'm using advanced editor, because the code what you're writing in the formula bar is only statement wise. But now I wanted to write the complete ETL process within an editor. So I'm using that kind of IDE environment, that is advanced editor. The moment I selected advanced editor, the advanced editor dialog open and the syntax is already there. If you understand this syntax, actually mQuery is already you understood. The behavior, the structure you understood. Rest everything will follow the steps. The syntax always starts with let, and after that your actions, and after that in, and the final action mentioned here. For example, you have written, automatically the option is coming like let source equal to blank and in source. Let me convert this source into step 1. You are doing some step to tell Power Query Editor to do certain activity. Then it will stop here, step 1. Suppose you are now typing and you are writing another step, so that this is another instructions to Power Query Editor. So in step 2, because in Power Query Editor, if you look at, there are applied steps, and these steps are actually related to successors and predecessors. So all the steps are actually having successors, and each successor has got predecessors also. So your data is actually written in a your steps are recorded in a proper manner, and those steps will be considered while extracting the incremental data from the source file. So these steps are important. So that is why your syntax starts with let and ends with in. In will ends with the last step what you have mentioned there. If you understood these steps, you can actually start exploring mQuery in a much better way. Now let me start with typing the code. To make my explanation easy, let me make this window into two parts. One is extraction, because it is ETL process. So one is extraction, then is transformation. If you look at this code which I am writing, it is not a code, it is a comment. Two backslashes and the text is equal to a comment. It is not a statement or a code. So it is there in other languages also, so you know what I am writing here. If you don't know, two backslashes with a text is a comment, so no execution happens. It is just a communication to the user, or who is writing it, he has to write like this to tell others. Now I need to start with let. So extraction is nothing but getting the data from a source. The source is Excel file, and it has got a file content, and then file content within the path. So that is what I am going to write. So let me give a variable to it. So I'm giving some indent. I need not do that because my code should be written little in a proper manner. The readability should be there. That is why I'm just giving an indent. For that I'm just pressing tab. Then I need to give a name. It's a user defined name. So my source. Let me type it in 2 characters, and if I say yes, it won't allow you. So this has to be a normal nomenclature kind of conventions, where this should not start with a number. You cannot have special characters. You can start with underscore, and you can have a number within. These are all same, whatever VBA, SQL, everywhere the same convention will follow here. My source equal Excel workbook. Now just like in Excel VBA or PowerPoint VBA or Word VBA, if you press Control Spacebar, the IntelliSense works, so that you can just get it. So the users of Excel VBA can also use it very easily. Now within the Excel workbook, I need to refer the file contents, and the file contents is nothing but the path. The path is, we have already copied into a notepad. Now just copy this and go back. Let me add the path within double quotes within these braces. Let me do one thing. Let me make this into 2 lines so that you can read the content, since I am magnifying the window, you'll not be able to see the rest of the code. So that means you can wrap the text into 2 lines and then you can use it. So there is no problem. You don't need not follow any special conventions in it. Just select it. I used Shift Enter. You can press Enter also, but Shift Enter is a better idea. Now you can see everything is appearing. So now you are actually getting the data from an Excel workbook. The file content is in the path of so and so. Now I need to say in, that is what I need to finish with, in, and then you need to stop at my source. Since my source is a variable created within the query, so you know it is coming within the IntelliSense. Now that is the first code. Now this code generates a complete set of elements available in that particular workbook. You have many sheets, and in that you have many tables also, because I know the data, because I have created many tables. All of them will come, but your table name is revenue. That is what only we need to take it. But anyway, let us see what happens with this. If I press done, you'll be getting all those elements where from you can select the table. So the table is basically, the object is named as item. So it is item. So item is, one is table, another is sheet. So wherever the table is there, the table name will come. Table 3, table 4, revenue, data, bad data. These are the names of the particular embedded item table name. So we are dealing with the table name. The object is revenue. That is what we are dealing with. We are not dealing with the sheet. If you are dealing with the sheet, you will be taking as a sheet. Whether you take sheet or whether you take table, it will be automatically converted into a table in Power Query Editor. But the problem is, when you deal with sheet, you will have to clean the data much more. The table revenue in Excel has got a specified scope, so that if you consider that, the extraction process will be much more comfortable and not tedious. So now we have got this level. Now we need to set up the remaining thing. Now I need to select the item, and the item name is revenue, and it is a table. So we need to be very clear on that. So let me jump into the advanced editor again, and then let me start the second step. So the table is the child of my source. So let me give the table name. You can give any name. Again, it is user defined. So I'm just to keep the same thing in a proper manner. My source and then my item. When I'm typing this my item, you can see this is giving a kind of error. The reason is, I need to now say, let us continue. So I need to give a comma so that my text will continue. My item equal to my source, and then the remaining things will come. So here basically my source, then you need to define a list. So within that, this is item. Item name is revenue, and comma, it is kind, that means type is table. And if I finish here, suppose I don't want to continue here, what happens? To make you understand, I'm telling, it will not give a, sorry, I need to remove this now, because my second step is that my item, the last step is my item. So I need to select that, my item, because that is what we understood in the earlier explanation. So now if I complete it here, Power Query Editor will not give you the complete data, but it gives you a kind of before parsing the data, whatever structure it will give. Let us see what happens and then clean this in a proper manner. For that, just say done. Now you selected a table, but you didn't ask for a data. So you need to ask for the data. For that, I need to tell, can you please give me the data from this entire information? No, let me go there. So there I need to add within square brackets data. Now if I press OK, you can see you're getting complete table, and all the data types are also being taken care of. So when you are using a regular feature of click, 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 maybe you're not getting 2 steps, you may be getting some 3 or 4 steps, because Power BI is generating code on itself. Like if you record a macro, what happens? The recorded macro will be very lengthy, where you need to eliminate many unnecessary lines and keep it very compact as a professional code. The same way here also, since we are writing the code, the length of the code is also not much and the steps also not many. With this, I have finished the process of extracting the data from source. If I would like to use this data, simply I need to load this data to the model and then start creating reports. That means I can load this to the report view and then start creating reports. But my objective is to clean this data, transform this data, rather shape up this data the way I require so that complete data will be available. Then reporting will be much more efficient. For that, I need to clean the data. For example, I don't want this column. This column should be like student 1, student 2, student 3, etc. That is what I require. And the data type should be text. This column I'm not going to use for my analysis. So I don't want to keep this. I want to remove this. And as and when I do incremental refresh, this column should not pop up again. Now, let me jump into the advanced editor window. There I will be typing the code for each one. The first step is removing this column. So let me go to advanced editor. Let me add this step on the beginning. Let me zoom the screen. Let me add this step somewhere here, because these are the steps now to deal with transformation. Since I'm now adding more steps, there is a comma and then my steps will start somewhere here. Till now the variables are created like this and there are naming conventions are followed, like you can't use special characters, you cannot start with numbers or numerics, you can start with underscore and so on. But here I can type the name whatever way I want, but it has to begin with hash and then within double quotes I can write remove column, because this step is actually removing the column. I mean, you can write anything. So you can write any name, it's user defined, but remove column is a better one. So I'm just writing. Now what I wanted to remove, a column, where it is a table. So the code will be table dot remove column. And if I open the bracket, give the table name. The table name is nothing but my item, because that is the table we have created, and the column name. The column name has to be written very carefully within double quotes. That is registration number. So within double quotes, registration number. And now this step will change to something else, that is this step. So now after in, you need to add this step. So now this will make your table get removed with this column. So now let me press done and see, this column disappeared and one column is added. Now the transformation has happened and you have removed the column. Now we can go to the next step. The next step is to generate an additional column having the values student 1, student 2, student 3, student 4 and so on. The heading of the column will be student underscore name. So let us have the name student underscore name and the values will be student 1, student 2, student 3 and so on. The way you have 1, 2, 3, 4. How that column can be generated? With the help of this column. Here one value is there. So text is the student is a string. So that string will repeat every time, but remaining text is coming from this. So we are actually combining both the texts. So in each cell, the text is coming from here, one is coming from here, and student string will be there as it is. We are combining them and constructing the column. So what is this step in a regular click way? That is nothing but add column from example and then from selection. And it is actually a merged column. Now let me explain the syntax so that you will understand in a better way. For that, home tab, advanced editor. Now I'm starting with a new column or new step. So comma, new step name is new column. and then equal. I need to add a column in the table, so table dot add column. Now it is asking give me table name. Here one important thing you need to notice. Currently you need to give the predecessor's name, not the table name. Currently you are in the step called remove column. So now you are adding another column, another step, that is new column. So new column will be the successor of remove column. So you need to give this step, that is nothing but this. Just copy this and then you can add it. Otherwise you can simply type hash and double quote, that value will come and stand there. Now it is asking me, can you give me the new column name? Okay, so the new column name is student underscore name. So column will be created from here, and we need to actually now generate the each cell value. Each cell value is a string, that is student, and remaining text is from the column called whatever student name. Actually that name was not really student name. If you look at this is student name. We need to use that name. Unfortunately I have not typed it properly. So now for that I need to write a function. So it's a column generator. So for that, each text combine. So each text to be combined and open bracket. When I open bracket, text as list. So all the texts you have to give as a list. The list will be having many values. So here two values. One is string student. Another value, the text is coming from the other column called student name. There 1, 2, 3, etc. So you need to give that column name. So I need to just add a curly bracket because I have to use a list, and then the string name is student. So this will be added everywhere, comma. The remaining string is from a column name called student name. Unfortunately I have not written properly. Then the type is text. So this entire step will generate another step, and that step will generate another column. So now the step will change because this is anymore remove column, but it has to be now new column. Sorry, new column. This is a step we are now at. Now this will generate a complete column with text student 1, student 3, student 4, etc. done, and the column is now there. Since I have created the new column with student 1, 2, 3, etc., and that column is sufficient for my data modeling, I don't require student name, this column. So I need to delete or remove this column. For that, advanced editor, another step. It's a simple step. Now the name, first hash and then remove this column, remove column 1, and then equal table dot remove column. The column, now here it is not table, it has to be the previous step, that is new column, comma, and then give the column name, that is student name. Now this will be now remove column 1. Now if I press done, you can see this column is now eliminated. Now you have only required column. Now I require another column having month name for my data model. So I can extract that from data of joining. So I need to create a duplicate column first, and then I transform it to a different column. To duplicate the column, again, advanced editor, next step, comma, and the step name is duplicate column equal table dot duplicate column, and you need to follow all the steps. One is you cannot give the table name now. you need to give remove column 1, that is the predecessor. Next, you need to give the column name which is to be duplicated. So that column name is date of joining, and the new column name is date, I can say short month. Now this will generate the additional column. Only thing is this step need to be removed and added this. So let me add duplicate column and then add it. Now if I press enter or done, I have another column which is a duplicate with the heading short month. Now I need to translate or transform into a month name. From the newly created column short month, I need to transform each cell value, currently it is a date, to a month name. For that, the syntax will be table.transform columns. So advanced editor, new step, comma, then the new step name is I think we can write as transform equal table.transform columns, and then the last step, that is most important because we are not giving the table name here, we are giving the last step name, that is duplicate column, comma. Now we need to give the transformation options or operations into a list. So opening double square bracket, double curly bracket, because you are typing two different things here. One is you're transforming into a text and you are transforming that into a month name. Now here the name of the column, short month. So in that column, comma, in that column each date has to be converted to a month name, and that is completely general. You don't know what to be created and what. And the next one is type text, the data type. Now again I need to explain this to you. I'm transforming this because I need to use I need to get the month name out from the date. For that I'm using a syntax table.transform columns, and the previous step I need to type, and then within the list I'm writing the name of the column, and in that column each date has to be converted as a month name, and then type is text. Now the step has to be changed. This will be transform. Now if I press done, you will get the short month. The column short month containing longer names like December, January, November, etc. If I use those names into my visualization, the names will be truncated. If I can have the names like DZ, NOV, JAN, that will be good enough for me. The users can understand what is that about. It is a month name. So I need to split the column. So I need to use a function called splitter. So now let me get into the advanced editor. There I need to add a new step. So it is a comma. Next, the name of the step is split column equal table dot split column, and the previous step, we should not forget about it. The previous step is transform, and then the column name, which one you are using for the splitting, that is short month. And then I need to use a function splitter and split by text positions. So basically I want to split 3 characters. So 0, 1, 2, 3. So that is what I need to do. For that I need to open bracket and I use a list because it is 0, 3, and then I'm done with it. Now I need to just add this into the last one. Now if I just press done, you can see the column is now converted into a proper column. Only thing is I need to change the name of it, and I need to remove this column. Now I need to remove the additional column, that is short month 2, and then rename the short month 1 column to short month. So the code will be additional column, so comma, then first let me remove the column. So remove column 2 equal table dot remove columns, then the last step, that is split column, comma, then you need to give the name of the column, that is short month 2 dot 2. After that, another step, I need to rename the column short month 1 to short month. So rename equal table dot rename columns, open bracket, previous step, that is remove column 2, and then what are those columns and what to be done. Remove column 2, and it is asking me the list. So open the square bracket, there the name of the column is short month dot 1, which has to be changed as short month, and I need to close the bracket. So now the last step will be this rename. So copy this and paste it. Now if I commit it, if I say done, you can see the old column is deleted, the additional column deleted, the current column, which is required column, is renamed properly. Most of the ETL process is done. Only one step is pending, which is very important step, revenue column. I need to calculate certain amount in each cell value, and then finally I need to convert that column into a proper number format, data type. For that, again, I need to use the add column syntax only. For that, let me go to Home tab, Advanced Editor, additional step, so comma. Now this step name is revenue, hash revenue equal table dot add column, and then the previous step, that is rename column name is, new column name is fees collected, and then this is a new column, so obviously you need to create a function, so it has to be with each cell value, so each, and then I'm starting the coding. Basically it is a very customized column, customized if formula, which you can borrow from the VBA coding. If the column duration, because duration is the column which is generating my revenue, number of hours spent multiplied by value, is less than or equal to 15, then I need to collect 15,000 rupees. Else if duration is greater than 15 and between, basically and is generating between less than equal to 35, then whatever duration has to be multiplied by 900. So let me copy this entire thing, paste it here. Let me change the values, that is 15 to 35, 35 to 50, then this value to 800. Next, anything other than 50, else duration is multiplied by 700. Now very important, if you leave this formula as it is, your column is getting generated as a text column. So I'll be giving the data type. It is an integer. So it is integer 64 type. So int 64 type. Now the final step will be revenue. Now this will create a column containing revenue. Let me copy entire code, because I'm now generating again with the help of only this code. Just paste it and I'll create another query and paste it and see what happens. Let me commit this. Done. Now I have a complete column with fees collected. If I want to create another query with the same kind of data, what is the same kind of data? Same number of columns and same column headers. Rows can differ. Whether this particular code will help me? Yes, it is. Let us test on the same data for the purpose of understanding. New query and then advanced editor. Only thing is I need to paste this code, and if I press done, it is actually generating the table. That means if you have same number of columns the way you have in the Excel, and the headers are same because we have used the same nomenclature. If you have different number of rows, doesn't matter, because it is row level evaluation. Every row will be taken care, that each function is taking care of that, and your data will be transformed the way it is done here. To finish the ETL process, I need to load this data to the model. That means the report view. For that, close and apply. The data is now transferred to the data model, where I can create my visualizations. Now the query tables are 2 because I have created another query by adding the just code. Now I can just double click on it and I can ask a question. Top 5 customer fees collected by city as donut. Let us see what happens, and it is giving you. But you should be very clearly mentioning the customer, fees collected, etc. For that you can do a small training session for this guy called Power BI model. Let me go to the relationship view, that is model view. There let me select the query one and let me expand the fields. Let me go to customer. In the customer, currently the synonym is only customer. So I can say client, I can say person, I can say I think that is enough. Let us see what happens. Now I can use this same nomenclature into my question. Now in case of fees collected, I can change the nomenclature to revenue, and I can say money, I can say rupees, I can say rokda, whatever you can write. So I have typed these names. Now I can actually ask a question to Power BI with these different names. Now let me go to report view, double click, and then top 5 person. Person is nothing but a customer by revenue as donut. Now Power BI is able to understand what you're talking to it, and it's giving actually the same thing what you want. This is nothing but revenue. So that way you can create a complete report. So in this video we've discussed complete ETL process, including the loading and creating a report. I don't want to create further report because this video has already become very long. My suggestion is please focus on the Power Query Editor mQuery language. Make sure that you're practicing on it and understanding it, because it is quite easy. Only few syntax where you are function or lists you need to follow little more practice, otherwise the syntax creation is much more easier. Hope you have understood the concepts discussed in this video about Power Query and M language. If you have any questions, please mention them in the comment section. I'm very sure you will be having many questions and many queries because there are certain questions nowadays I'm receiving from many people about how to type this code related to the function or adding some additional columns or splitting certain columns, etc. If you like this video, please share with many because many people are interested to learn mQuery. And if you want to get notified, please subscribe to the channel if you have not yet done.